So I'm Chris.
And I'm Des.
And today we're going to talk to you about the 2021 Primetime Emmy Nominations, which just came out today. And as Des said earlier, there are a bazillion categories.
I had no idea how many, I knew there were a lot, but I feel like now there's a cajillion more. All of a sudden they've exploded.
Yeah, I think the last few years they added all these short form programs and kind of interactive stuff that some of them do, and so they're trying to branch out into the social media stuff as well.
Good. I think it's a good way to go. I just didn't realize the Emmys are the least of all the shows that I connect with.
Yeah.
I like the Oscars and the Tonys. The Oscars and the Tonys are the two, my big two. Right. Grammys are not even on my list, and Emmys I just dabble because it's too much to commit myself to watch everything, and I cannot watch everything.
Right. And so
I let myself off the hook.
There you go. Well, let's talk about the hook. No pressure. It's just an award show. Yeah. I love the Emmys because I love television. That's my comfort, even more than movies. I've been thinking about this. I love movies, and I've always loved movies. You know that, Desiree. But my comfort is television. At night, if I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna watch a TV show, or even my wife and I, it's we need to have a show that we're watching together. That's our relaxing. Okay, good. Even though right now we're watching The Good Fight and Atypical, and she and I are going through Schitt's Creek because she hasn't seen it, and so we're going through all these things actually. But anyway, let's talk about outstanding comedy series. So what we love about, we were talking about this a second ago, what we love about this idea that Emmys, hello Oscar voters, are people who are in charge of the Oscars. Please pay attention, Academy.
Yes.
Notice that the Emmys do this thing where it's hey, we don't need to just, they once upon a time did only 5 in each category like the Oscars do.
Yeah.
But now they've said how about we just do whoever gets this amount of votes, then if there's 8 nominees, there's 8. If there's 7, there's 7. If there's 5, there's 5. Whatever there is. Great. And it just
fair. It feels like a fair way to go.
Totally. And it just opens it up to oh, I love that show. Oh, I love that show. You know what I am going to watch because I want to see my favorite up there or whatever. And it just gets you more people watching. Hello, Oscars. Hello? No? Okay. Hello? Is this on? So I should say at the beginning, the most nominated shows were 24 nominations for The Crown, which has been the Emmys' darling for the last few years, and 24 nominations for The Mandalorian, and 23 for WandaVision, which I'm wearing my WandaVision shirt. So it was a good day to be on Disney Plus. Hamilton and WandaVision and The Mandalorian just raking things up. And some for Falcon. They had pushed for Falcon to be in Best Drama Series, but it just didn't make the cut.
I don't think it... I think that's valid. I think that's too. Completely fine.
I think there's something... The Mandalorian is a really well done show, first of all. And it's really gripping, and people like it. And that's the thing, it's okay if people like it. That's another thing the Emmys do. It's just because everyone likes it doesn't mean it's bad. The Oscars think if everyone likes it, it must be bad.
Stupid. I think that's just defeating to the Oscars. Absolutely. And the thing that tracks how many people watch it.
Yeah.
The Nielsen ratings. It totally shows that people are the Oscars do not matter because they've totally taken their self off the list.
Right. Totally.
People don't care.
So the nominees for comedy series were Blackish, which has been nominated a bunch of times, and then Cobra Kai, which is its first time being nominated. Emily in Paris, its first time being nominated. Emily in Paris is an interesting one for me to be nominated because it's a very I don't know. It feels very teenage-ish fun.
What's it about? I feel like I've never heard of it.
It's about a girl who loses her job, so she finds a job in Paris and then moves there. It stars...
Who stars in it?
Oh, Collins. What's her name? Collins. Oh, shoot. What's her first name? I can't remember now. And Ashley Park, who we love from Mean Girls on Broadway.
Oh, I love Ashley Park.
Yeah, she's the co-star in it. She's doing it. Lily Collins? Yes, I think that's Lily Collins, yeah.
Okay.
And it's cute. It's like cute and fun. I didn't think it would be here, but it's here. So yay for it. Hacks, which is Jean Smart's amazing show about a former kind of like in retirement stand-up comedian, and it's on HBO, and she's amazing. Pen 15, which is also hilarious, and it's on Hulu. Ted Lasso, which is so good. Oh, I love Ted Lasso. Everyone loves Ted Lasso. That's the thing. How can you not?
I love Ted Lasso.
How can you not like it? And that's on Apple TV Plus. And The Flight Attendant, which is on HBO, and The Kaminsky Method, which is a Netflix show. And this is the last.
I haven't watched anything except Ted Lasso.
I've watched some other seasons of Blackish, and I have seen Emily in Paris and Hacks, Pen 15, Ted Lasso, The Flight Attendant, and The Kaminsky Method.
Well, all right. You are way better at this.
This is the final season of The Kaminsky Method 2.
Okay.
And it's Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin, and this year they had Paul Reiser and what's her name? Kathleen Turner. Oh, it was so good.
Kathleen Turner.
Yeah.
Oh my.
They were kicked together, and Morgan Freeman guest starred as himself. That was pretty great too.
Oh, I bet that's great.
And so then the actors in comedy are Anthony Anderson for Blackish. Kenan Thompson got a double nomination. This is his nomination for his show Kenan, which I love. Also, super cute, fun, like kind of family-ish show. William H. Macy for the last season of Shameless, and he's brilliant on that show. And Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso, and Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method.
Okay.
All great. They're all great. So I think it's going to come down between Jason Sudeikis and Michael Douglas, which is Jason Sudeikis is amazing in Ted Lasso, and everyone loves it, but Michael Douglas is Michael Douglas. So
that's Michael Douglas, yeah.
And then
count him out.
I know, don't count him out. And then the lead actress in the comedy is Tracee Ellis Ross for Blackish. Everyone every year I read an article of like, this is her year, but she's got the Susan Lucci problem. She's got the I'm like, I nominate all time. Jean Smart for Hacks. I would say she's the front runner because she's brilliant. She already has 3 Emmys, but she's still amazing. Allison Janney for Mom, Adie Bryant for Shrill, and Kaylee Cuoco for The Flight Attendant, which is a comedy in quotes because it's about.
What is that mean?
So she's a flight attendant, and it's not a spoiler. This is what the show base of the show is. She kind of like sleeps with this guy, and then he ends up dead, and it's her trying to figure out how he died because she can't remember from the night before, and so it's good. Like it's not like comedy. That's why I'm like, this is not funny per se.
A little dark. That's a little dark.
It's a little dark. And Hacks can be dark also, but Jean Smart has this like razor wit that is like.
I love Jean Smart.
She's great. She's a double nominee this year too. She's great. And then, sorry, oh no, I think I got frozen. And then they did this like gigantic thing of the supporting actors, which is cool, but they did the guy from Hacks, Carl Clement Hopkins, Kenan Thompson for SNL, Bowen Yang for SNL, and then Brandon Hunt, Nick Mohammed, Jeremy Swift, Brett Goldstein, all of them from Ted Lasso. So it's 4 nominees for Ted Lasso for supporting actor. And then Paul Reiser for The Kaminsky Method also. That's a tough... I don't know if that's a tough category. And then the supporting actresses kind of did similar in the sense of like Hannah Einenberg from Hacks, Kate McKinnon, Cicely Strong, and Adie Bryant from SNL, and then Juno Temple and Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso, and Rosie Perez from The Flight Attendant. So double nominees, at least double nominees, triple in some, for SNL and Ted Lasso in both of those supporting actor categories. They just have a lot of good people.
Apparently.
Okay, and it's got the like circle part. Kate McKinnon's won a bunch of times or at least 2 or 3 times for supporting actress because she's so good.
So good.
She's so good. Everybody loves her. They can't help it. It's impossible not to love her. So the drama series, right, is Bridgerton, which is on Netflix. Kind of, you know, like the scandalous, kind of like sexy soap opera. But you know what's... It's fun. There's a scene with a lot of nudity, though. But it's written by and kind of created by Shonda Rhimes, and so it's the same feel as the Shonda Rhimes.
She knows how to keep you interested.
And even though it's inappropriate, Julie Andrews narrates it, so it feels less inappropriate for some reason. Because, like, well, Julie Andrews is talking, so...
Julie Andrews, everything's fine.
Mary Poppins is narrating this show, so it's not that bad, obviously.
That's funny.
Lovecraft Country.
That's brilliant casting right there. That is brilliant casting.
She's nominated for Best Voiceover Performance for it, so...
As she should be. She should be.
Lovecraft Country, which is on HBO. I have not seen that. Pose. Have you ever seen Pose? I haven't seen Pose on FX.
No.
Billy Porter's always nominated for it. The Boys, which is a superhero show that is like extremely violent and sexual, but it's like it's entertaining. I liked the first season. The second season I didn't finish because it was getting like, woo, okay, hold on to your horses for a second. But it's a DC superhero show. I think it must be because it was on it was Marvel. It'd be on Disney Plus, but
yeah.
And then
the superheroes,
and they're like. I don't even know their names. They're like maybe they're just made up. Maybe they're not even like attached.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to attribute it to DC if it's not DC.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Go ahead, look it up. The Crown, which obviously is about the crown. The Handmaid's Tale, which Des knows I can't stand, and The Mandalorian.
I'm learning a lot, you guys. I've learned a lot in the last 10 minutes here about our Mr. Salazar. He does not like The Crown.
No, I love The Crown.
He does not.
Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, no, not The Crown. The Handmaid's Tale.
Right.
He does not like The Handmaid's Tale.
I can't get enough. The Mandalorian, which is fantastic, of course.
Love.
And This Is Us, which is the only... Oh, no. Well, no. FX isn't really... The only, like... Once upon a time, when we were young, Des, NBC, ABC, and CBS were not the only nominees for all these shows. And now, This Is Us is the only nominee in these big categories that's on one of those shows. I mean, Blackish is on ABC, I guess, in the comedy channel. But the rest of these are all Amazon, HBO, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. They're all streaming.
Streaming's the new thing. That's what we're doing now.
And then the actors were... I always say his name wrong. Regé-Jean Page, who is from Bridgerton. Matthew Rice is from Perry Mason. Sorry, it doesn't say on here, so I'm trying to remember off the top of my head where they're from. And then Billy Porter from Pose. Josh O'Connor, who is so brilliant on The Crown. I love him. I'm rooting for him. Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us, and Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft Country. I've never seen... Have you seen Lovecraft Country?
No, sir.
I have not either. I heard it's really good. And then you have...
Nominated.
It's nominated for a bunch of stuff, yeah, and for big things, too, like actor and actress and drama series. I need to watch it. Uzo Aduba for In Treatment for Best Actress. Janae Smollett from Lovecraft Country. MJ Rodriguez, who is the first trans person to be nominated in a lead category, for Pose. Olivia Colman and Emma Corrin, both for The Crown, and they're both so good. And then Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tale, which we won't talk about.
Because he hates it.
Because I don't like it. Sorry if you like it. I just can't get behind her fake feminism that she has. She's not really a feminist, though she claims to be. Okay, then this is my favorite category of all the categories, is limited or anthology series. I May Destroy You I have not seen, but I've heard it's amazing, and I love Michaela, who is the lead star of it, and so I can't wait to watch it. Mayor of Easttown is one of the best shows of the whole entire year, easily. So, yay for it.
Okay.
Queen's Gambit is one of the best shows of the whole entire year, so yay for that.
I saw that one.
The Underground Railroad, I heard, is amazing. I have the book to read. I haven't read it yet, but I heard it's amazing. And WandaVision is one of the best shows of the year, too. So you should watch Mayor of Easttown, though. You will... Okay. It's Gene Smart and Kate Winslet. So what's not to like?
Nothing.
Okay. And then in those categories you have... Oh, you also have, I guess, television movies. So Dolly Parton was nominated for her Christmas on the Square movie. Yay for Dolly. Oslo, Mahalia, Sylvie's Love, which I want to see, and Uncle Frank, which I want to see too. I heard they're both so good. And then you have the lead actors in those things. Ewan McGregor for Halston. Have you watched Halston? It's on Netflix. It's about, like, the designer Halston and the whole Studio 54 club scene. Liza Minnelli's a character on it and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I saw a preview, like a snippet of it, or maybe he was on there. Yeah. You know how Netflix has, when you pull it up, there's a different screen every time. I think that's smart of them to do it that way.
Oh,
but one of the days it was Halston.
Yeah, like free advertising for themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Lin-Manuel Miranda and Leslie Odom Jr. for Hamilton. Hugh, which is good. Hugh Grant for The Undoing. And then I think, if I had to guess, I would say Paul Bettany is going to win. If I had to say it now.
Wow.
For WandaVision. I just think he's super likable and he feels really credible as an actor. Like, people are like, oh, he's really good actor.
Oh, he was really good. That show was so good.
I know. I love it. And then, you know, Desiree, that I put too much pressure on these awards, like they really matter, which they really don't. And so in my mind, like, this category of lead actress in a limited series, like, I was telling my mom when she was asking me the nominees, I was like, oh, I can't pick. You can't make me pick. Please don't make me pick from these ladies who I love so much. It's Cynthia Erivo for Genius Aretha. Did you see that?
I didn't, but I actually looked it up today to think maybe I would watch it, because I thought, for some reason, I just thought it was maybe a movie, but it's not. No, it's like
6 episodes.
Apparently, it's the 3rd season of this series. Like, the first was
they did Picasso,
Einstein,
and they did Einstein.
Yeah, and then the second was Picasso, and now the third they did Aretha Franklin, and I was like, well, this looks like a great series. How come I haven't been watching it the whole time? So I'm going to have to. But because it's so separate like that, it'll be easier for me to just watch the Aretha Franklin season, because it's not connected to all the other seasons. If it was connected at all, I couldn't start in the middle. I'd have to start at the beginning.
Yes, I know that about you.
It's just who I am as a person. I'm sorry, like it or not.
No, it's good. I watched it.
After at the beginning.
It's super, and she's obviously, Cynthia Erivo is amazing.
I love her.
I think it's an interesting thing to have this out this year, and then also Jennifer Hudson playing her later this year in Respect. It's kind of like a who is the better Aretha kind of thing. Cynthia Erivo is not to mess around with. She's so good.
I don't feel good for Jennifer Hudson. That's my whole opinion right now. You're going up against Cynthia. I'm afraid you're not going to be successful.
Have you seen the interview with Aretha Franklin before she died about who could play her in the movie? Oh, gosh. No. First of all, Aretha never cared what anyone thought about her, but especially as she got older. And so they're asking...
I love that about her.
I know. She's like Cher or Mariah or Whitney, all these ladies who don't care anymore.
There's nothing that exudes confidence more than not giving it a F.
Yes.
If you do not care even a little bit, well, then that just means that you have a reason.
So they asked her, like, who she would like to play her movie, and she said there were a few people. She said Audra McDonald was someone who could play her, and she said that Jennifer Hudson was someone who could play her, and Audra and Jennifer are both in the movie. Audra plays her mom, and Jennifer plays her in the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that's good. And then the interview asked her, like, can you tell us about some of these new pop stars, like Adele? And she's like, okay, good voice, yes. And then she's like, can you, okay, what about Alicia Keys? She's like, okay, good songwriter, yes, young musician. And like, okay. And then she's like, Taylor Swift. She's like, okay, I like her gowns. And then she's like, Nicki Minaj. She's like, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
That's not her style. That's not her thing.
Oh, it makes me so happy. It's so Aretha. Anyway, Michaela Cole, who kind of like wrote, produced, created this show, I May Destroy You. And she was in another show called Chewing Gum. That was the name of it, Chewing Gum. And it was like critically loved by everyone in Great Britain, and so she has a really good chance. But then Desiree is Kate Winslet in Mayor of Easttown, and she is so good, crazy good. You know how she always is crazy good, but she transforms everything about her. Her voice, her look. She like is simple, frumpy sheriff of the town or whatever, and she's of course brilliant and amazing. Anya Taylor-Joy in The Queen's Gambit, and she is so good too. Oh man, she's so good. The Queen's Gambit is brilliantly done.
I've seen that one.
And then Elizabeth Olsen in WandaVision.
Yes. Oh, she's really good.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. Don't make me choose, please. I can't.
Well, it was like the best actress in the Oscars. Like the women are bringing it.
Yeah, they are. And I think Reese Witherspoon made a really good point a few years ago when she started producing Big Little Lies and stuff. Is that she was saying like what she loves about streaming is that it's offered women like she's like, I can now create parts where it's like, oh, you know what, actually this show is going to be me and Nicole Kidman and Meryl Streep and so and so and so and so, and it's just gonna, and Laura Dern, and we're going to be the stars of it and the producers of it, and
they can do whatever they want,
and everyone loves it because like, oh wow, these women are great. Like, yes, they are. And I think that's what are all those the ones we're going to talk about. There's also like a bunch of variety talk shows and variety sketch shows and reality program stuff.
There's so many.
So many. Queer Eye seems to be winning every year the last 4 years. I think it's won best reality show, so it's hard to beat that show. Some made again. And I don't know if have you ever seen Black Lady Sketch Show?
I was going to ask you about that. Because I see it nominated, and I have never even heard of it before. But it's the only thing, like in one category, it's just that show and Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, in the sketch category.
They're the only two things nominated because they're the only sketch shows even out there.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Where is it?
HBO.
Is it on HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It is. It's on season 2, actually. I watched the whole first season and the whole second season. It is so funny. It's so funny. It's really good.
I haven't even seen it. I haven't even heard of it.
I encourage you to check it out because it's really good.
All right.
Was there anything else you loved or were surprised about or wanted to see?
Not well. Just in general, the amount of categories is what totally threw me off. When I actually downloaded the PDF of all the nominations and started going through it and looking at it, I was like, wait, we're doing what now? And there's a whole category of I don't know why, but casting felt like such a new thing for me that I didn't even realize they gave an award for it. I mean, I was going through all these different categories. I'm like, what? Maybe I haven't. Now, granted, I have not been paying attention. Absolutely. Because again, unless I can really consume it, it becomes too much. So I was like, well, maybe I'll watch some of these shows this year and get invested in it a little bit. But I started scrolling through it and I got overwhelmed. I was like, no, I can't do it. It's too much. It's too much. And this is why I feel this way about it. And I'm back to, I have to let myself off the hook. I can't even do it. I just need to watch the shows that I happen to watch. Unlike the Oscars, where I really do I enjoy watching them all. It feels like I can accomplish that with the Oscars, and I cannot with the Emmys. I cannot. Maybe, it's too much.
Maybe we could well, except The Handmaid's Tale, which I've already seen and can already give my opinion about. But the other ones of the nominees, like, okay, there's a bunch of shows there are 2 shows that I'm over 24, 23, 21. There's 2, 20. So even if we just did like 15 or above, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shows, which is only 10 shows. So if they got 15 or more nominations, then we can do
that feels more doable. So you're looking at a list that I haven't looked at yet, where it breaks it down by how many nominations each thing gets.
Yeah, I was
looking at the whole entire list of
which
nominees.
Is overwhelming.
Like, it's
totally,
too much.
totally. Yeah, because then you only have to watch The Crown, The Mandalorian, which you've already watched, WandaVision, which you've already watched, The Handmaid's Tale. You can watch an episode if you want to ruin your life. Saturday Night Live, which I've already watched. Ted Lasso, which you've already watched as well too.
Already watched that. Yeah.
Lovecraft Country, which I need to watch too. I need to get my butt in gear. Lovecraft Country.
Yeah. Okay. So there's one I could watch.
The Queen's Gambit, which you've already watched.
I've already watched.
Mayor of Easttown.
I haven't seen that one, so there's another one. So Lovecraft and Mayor
and Hacks is the other one for 15. Okay. So what you will love Hacks and you will love Mayor of Easttown. So.
Okay, so then that's where I should put my focus.
Yes, on those.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. And then the next 200 are Bridgerton and Hamilton. You've already seen Hamilton. See, you're doing great. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's good. Like, it's a good way to like focus it down. I think that's what everyone did, because it is overwhelming. They actually do multiple days of awards for the Emmys because there's so many people nominated.
So many of them. I don't know if I can. Like, here's my little iPad. And wait, let me see if I can do that. Here's the. Oh no, it won't let me. Can you see? All right. So if I scroll, I'll be scrolling here for days because, first of all, the list is so long. I only highlighted the ones that I had seen. So it's barely even, like, I haven't even started, you guys. This list is so long of all of the things. Like, it's just too.
Yeah. But I think that, you know what? Even if you do... Oh, shoot. Sorry. That's right. Even if you... My phone shut down. Even if you do anything with 10 nominations or more, you only have to add Bridgerton and Hamilton to that list, and you've already watched Hamilton. So it's really only Bridgerton is the only other thing. So if you...
No, I think you're right that going by how many nominations each thing has, I think that's a better way to look at it.
Right.
Because then it's easier to consume and to keep it in perspective.
And then you've kind of even, like, because they're nominated for so many things, you kind of covered your bases in every category of like, oh, well, that's nominated here and this one here and this one
and
here.
At least a few things of everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
There just are so many categories.
Right.
Which I'm for pass out the awards. Let's be clear. I'm about go ahead and give people, because this is their business and this is what they are great at, and they need some accolades, or otherwise they're just doing all this behind the scenes and they're never going to get any like recognition for how much work, like costuming and makeup and all that stuff that goes on behind the scenes. They never get any kind of love.
Right.
So I'm for at least once a year acknowledging these people really did a great job.
Yeah, totally.
Let's acknowledge. Yeah.
Actually, I think costuming is one of the hardest categories. Who do you think's costumes are better, WandaVision or Queen's Gambit?
See, that seems so, but yeah.
It's hard, right?
I'd probably go Queen's Gambit, actually.
I know
but
the clothes she wears are
they're both
crazy.
Really In fact, didn't they separate the categories now?
Yeah, there are a bunch of separate. Let me see.
One is sci-fi fantasy and one is period. Like, they wouldn't even be
they do
each other.
Period, and then they do, but I think WandaVision is period, and I also think Queen's Gambit is period.
WandaVision is not period. WandaVision is complete fantasy. What are they talking about?
No, they don't do it like you do modern, and they do it like that. Let me see.
Oh, I thought I saw one that was like science fiction, like was for the crazy stuff, like the monsters, and whenever there's that kind of.
You're right. There is a science fiction one, but oh shoot.
But I guess WandaVision would count.
No, you're right. It isn't. They did put it in fantasy sci-fi. So then it's up against The Mandalorian and The Handmaid's Tale. How hard is it to make a bunch of red dresses?
You guys, he really hates this show. Like, hates it. Like, don't even get him started. It's going to be a whole thing.
So then good. WandaVision can win. Because I was thinking, too, like, what's so cool about WandaVision is I think they should win costume and production design because it is like we're doing 1950s and then we tear everything down and the next episode we are doing 1960s.
Absolutely.
And to do that every episode, like, completely start over. I mean, it's the most expensive television show ever made. And that's part of the reason why, is because we got to tear everything down and we got to restart. At the beginning at least, for sure. Towards the end, it was the same set, but there weren't that many episodes in the first place. There was only like 9 or something, right?
Yeah, there's only 9, so
yeah.
That was a great show.
I love that show. And so then Queen's Gambit will be up. I think its biggest competition is probably The Crown. Always has good costumes, of course. And Bridgertons are that timey, like old-timey.
That same thing.
And they're like bright and fun. But the Queen's Gambit, her clothes are like crazy good. Crazy good.
The costuming in that show, for sure, was crazy
good. Don't you feel, I feel like that was a show that I watched, and then at the end of it, I was like, man, that was a well-made show in almost every aspect. The acting, the writing, the costumes, the makeup, the hair.
There was nothing extra about that show. Yep. There was nothing that was like too much or extraneous. Everything was feeding into the story and telling the story and just conveying that. It was so streamlined, I thought. That show was so good. Yeah,
totally agree. That's why once you watch Mayor of Easttown, I think you'll love it also. So that's why when it comes to like picking that WandaVision, Queen's Gambit, or Mayor of Easttown, I'm like, oh no, because I love all of those shows. And good for Disney Plus, man. I think they got 73 nominations or something like that for Disney Plus.
Whoa. Yeah. Well, good for them.
Good for them.
That's right.
And it's, you know what's nice about that too is that it's the opposite of the Oscars. Everyone has Disney Plus, so we're all watching these shows together. Everyone's watching WandaVision together.
I love that. I love that.
Because there's a shared connectedness of like, I love WandaVision too. Like, I love that.
And part of that is what we've lost as a society with all of this streaming. Yeah, I got the Wanda bobblehead.
Yeah.
With everybody releasing like entire seasons onto the streaming platforms and stuff, there's no like must-see TV anymore. And so Disney has brought it back with Friday nights, with WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Loki now is on Wednesday nights, and they're doing Bad Batch on Friday night. So they just keep releasing things 1 week at a time, and I think it's enjoyable. I like that.
Yeah, totally. Disney's a smart company about how to get you to buy into their stuff.
Connect. Yes, just connect. They want you to connect with their product, and they want you to have an emotional attachment to it, and they are successful.
I think yeah, totally. I don't think there's a company as successful actually as like they've almost interwoven themselves in like the fabric of America. Like you could go to a school,
and if any other thing was doing it, they just bought them.
Yeah, totally.
So like Star Wars, people was connected to Star Wars, they just bought Star Wars and say okay. And people were connecting to Marvel, they just bought Marvel, and they say okay, they're part of us now too. So we have it all. Yeah. They have them all.
Yeah. And it's so you could go to any school in any state in the United States and ask kids like, "What's your favorite Disney movie?" And everyone's like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." It's just we all know Disney movies. We know, we watch them, we've seen them, we know. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Oh, I like blah blah blah. Like, well, see, it's such a cool connection. You're right, totally. That we're missing now. Nobody watches regular television. Sorry, NBC and ABC.
Nobody watches the same thing anymore. Right. Like everybody is so individualized all the time. So I think it's, connecting. It's connecting.
Right. It does feel overwhelming.
When are the Emmy Awards?
You do have to make a list of it. They are Sunday, September 19th.
September. Okay.
So you got a little bit of time.
We have like
a
couple months.
2 months. 2 months. You have 2 months to watch some shows, get some shows in. We'll come back after we watch those nominees, and then we'll be like, hey, we really liked.
And, blah, blah, blah. And then I can have an opinion. I don't feel like I have any opinions yet.
Yes. I'll already...
As opposed to you and The Handmaid's Tale.
We can skip The Handmaid's Tale and not talk about it.
Okay.
I'll come up with a brief summary of my reasoning, so I can be like, here's why I don't like it. Thank you. Next thing.
Okay.
Anyway, let us know.
I don't think YouTube is ready for the full passion of your hatred for The Handmaid's Tale. I don't think they're ready.
They're not ready. I can tell you that.
Because here's the thing, you guys, about Mr. Salazar here. When he finally lands on the fact that he doesn't like something, he does, like, it's all in. So as much as he likes to like things, when he's decided that he doesn't like something, there's no redemption, there's no saving it. It's over.
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
I'm not a middle of the road kind of guy. I can't.
Nope. I like that about you, sir. I like that about
it. Okay, so let us know what you've been watching and what you like. Tell us, hey, you should really watch this show. Maybe there's a show that we didn't even talk about. Maybe a show that totally got skipped over.
Tell us what you like.
By the Emmys. My parents are really sad about The Chi. They love that show. They think it's fantastic, and they were so sad they didn't get nominated. It's about...
The what?
Chicago. It's about Chicago, but they call it the Chi. I think it's the Chi. I want to say Shy, but it's not Shy. It's Chi.
Chi. Okay.
But they say it's phenomenal. Like, wow, we can't believe it didn't get nominated. But it's I think you can watch it on Hulu actually.
Okay.
I felt the same way about Atypical. That's such a good show. I love Atypical, but it's whatever it is. Can't nominate everything. Right. But let us know any shows you loved and you want us to watch. Let us know who would you pick? WandaVision, The Queen's Gambit, or Mare of Easttown, I May Destroy You, or whatever the other nominees are. Let us know. We'd love to hear it.
For sure.
And and subscribe.
Do all of the things.
Tell us
keep
all the
coming
things.
Back.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.